Welcome to another episode of Loyal African Minds. Today, King Ajalan, Diane Subu. I have my lovely co-host. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Ebony.
And so, today we're going to be talking about the plug.
Wait, you're the king, and so you're the King Ajalan?
I'm King Ajalan Diane Subu.
Is this live? This is not live, right? We're just recording. It can be edited.
It can be edited.
Okay, so you're King Ajalan Diane Subu.
Welcome to another Loyal African Mind video where we discuss issues that's current or topics that need to be dealt with within the African community worldwide. I'm King Ajalan Diane Subu of Loyal African Mind, and my lovely co-host, I'll allow her to introduce herself.
I'm Ebony, the Enugu. Tonight I'm Dr. Rastabaka, as I have many, many, many layers, but tonight I'll come to you in that vein. Dr. Rastabaka, personified as Ebony Davis, the Enugu.
Wow, that was deep. That's a treat to see how the layers get unfold, how the layers reveal themselves. Myself, I have layers. And as we go forward, different layers show different perspectives.
Absolutely.
It reminds me of Tupac, right? Mm-hmm. On one level, he was a poet. On another level, he was an actor. On another level, he was an activist.
Absolutely.
On another level, he was a gangster. Right. On another level, he was just a square. On another level, he was a hustler. And then he was just showing the dynamics that it takes to survive, to be a black man under the constraints of global white supremacy racism. Right. Matter of fact, this particular piece, we'll call it the plug.
Okay, I like it.
And I'm going to expound on what the plug is. Dr. Rastabaka, Ebony Davis. When I got reacquainted with her, she said she was keeping people, and she was keeping herself out of the plug. And I mean, like, I know everything, but that's the higher stuff, know everything. But our earthly stuff that went through the 400 years of slavery that we carry in our DNA pool, even though I probably particularly haven't went through it like my ancestors, it's a lot of stuff we don't know, because we didn't get a chance to read, we're not writing our own stuff. So when she was talking about the plug, I had to let her elaborate. And so she was like, at this time, my energies are not plugged into anyone. It's almost like being on a sabbatical. It's almost like being celibate.
Right.
That I'm not going to be contaminated.
Right.
Any longer.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I'm discovering me. Right? And those who are traveling in the journey, right? Towards where the stars are leading us, right? So I got it. I got it. I don't know if you out there in the audience is getting it, but one thing I know, in order to understand the plug, you have to unplug, and then you get to choose, right? A choice. It's like when white folks told us, don't make a judgment, but the ancestors say, go ahead and make a judgment, right? That you have to judge some things, you have to make, because judgment is only a choice or decision. Okay? And so, not to take up all the space, what I realized dealing with this system when she was saying the plug is that I don't need everybody's energy.
Absolutely.
Some people are energy vampires.
Absolutely.
And so the topic is the plug, and it's we're going to discuss the issue of unplugging, right, and plugging in, and knowing what to unplug, right, and knowing what to plug into.
So in discussing the plug, right, I'm excited about this topic, the plug, because I love to use it. It is one of my favorite phrases in terms of the plug. So it's energy, right? We're energy, right?
Exactly.
We're energetic beings,
exactly,
right? So just metaphorically, right, allegorically, when you think about a plug, you're taking something and you're inserting it, right? And from that, you're going to get a charge. Right?
Correct.
Something's going to turn on.
Right.
Something's going to spark, right?
Something's powered. Something's powered up.
Right. So in certain situations, you have to understand, right? Are you the plug or you the plug-e? right? So in understanding the plug and you being an energy source, sometimes you have to the plug is like for me it was a spiritual sobriety, right? It was a sexual sobriety. It was an energetic sobriety, right? I'm cleansing myself. So I'm not allowing too many people, places, things to plug into me because I'm recognizing myself as a divine energy source, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We are. So with that being said, when you begin to you unplug, but you don't allow to be someone to plug into you or a thing to plug into you to zap your energy, right? So I think, is that what we're going to be talking about? Plugging in and unplugging?
Exactly.
Me too.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the topic is so strong, and it's so soft, it's so hard, and it's so sensitive. You know what I mean? Because you got to have some assertiveness, right? But you have to be passive enough with yourself to say it's okay to unplug. You know,
Absolutely.
you have to be strong enough to plug into what you want, right? And it almost seems like selfishness, but it's not selfishness, right? It's not selfishness, but it's healing,
Absolutely.
right?
Right. Right.
It has nothing to do with selfishness, right? But it has to do with self-diagnosis. You know that,
Self-love.
and so
Self-esteem. Self-efficacy.
right, right. And so I'm gonna give you an example of hard, all right?
Okay.
That is hard. My mom and my dad had me, and whatever dynamics that they learned from their mom and dad, or society, or school, or church, had an impact on the information that they didn't know, or what they did know, and when it translated to me, what I received, how I received it, right? They didn't tell me a lot of stuff because they didn't know a lot of stuff, right? And then they had some stuff that they knew they didn't tell me in their way, so I got it wrong, right? Which I thought was unfair, right?
I agree.
So I went through a lot of plugging in to meaningless shit, to meaningless things, right? Chasing, I'm gonna say it, chasing pussy, right? Shooting dice games, fighting, trying to be a superstar in baseball, right? Daydreaming about being a great boxer, or following Bruce Lee. You know, started an organization called the Ethiopian Lion Movement in the daytime. We had sock hops, and we went to the community, and it was people made up from my community and other surrounding community. We was pro-black, pan-African, and we was straight people from our environment, our community. At nighttime, we turned to the ever loyal mob, right? And you can get it. You can get it. And so it had a balance. I mean, we were pro-black, right? But it was no way to take it out. It was no way to express it, but except for trying to do some mob shit, some gangster shit, because 24/7 we had war movies, we had cowboy movies, and we had gangster movies, or they showed us as buffoons, right? Or they showed us as some militants or some radicals. And, this is from the 60s to the 80s.
I have a question. Is the plug a plug or a vice? Are they the same thing in your mindset?
Well, vices can come along with a plug.
Because they give you charge, right? One thing you have to understand about a plug is there is a positive and a negative charge to it, right?
Right.
That's what you must understand about it. So when you're trying to identify something, right, it has a positive or a negative charge to it. When I plug in to the brother, I get a positive charge, right? When he plugs into me, he gets a positive charge. You know when the charge is not positive because you'll feel depleted, right?
Exactly.
Sometimes the plug is there to not give something to you, right, but take something away from you, and you have to be aware of that positive and negative charge. Like, for example, have you ever had a conversation with somebody and at the end of the conversation you're exhausted?
Recently, since I changed my diet, and my way of thinking. I can't even engage no more. You know, I can't even engage no more. And never in my life have I experienced the level of. It's not drained. It could be drained if I didn't know who I was, but the level of tiredness. And soon as I get away from it and take the power nap or do some meditation or some type of cleansing, right? All back up. Or when I come in contact with somebody positive. And so that's why it's important for me at this time to say the black woman is God, and nation rise no higher than his women. This sister right here, it's like I got wings. I can fly, right? Get energy, get positive. So definitely, yes, vices come along with plugging in if you plug into the wrong thing, right?
Can you be charged for that?
Yeah.
How can you be charged? How do you get charged?
You talking about powered up?
There is sometimes with those positive and negative charges, right? You know how in our community you say we're gonna charge it up to the gang, or we're gonna, you know what I'm saying? I have to charge you for that.
Okay.
Or right,
Okay.
you can get a charge for that, right? We use it in our judicial system, right? He got them charges, right? So there's a positive and a negative charge that comes with the plug. So sometimes we have to determine, is the plug a plug or is the plug a vice? So you need to identify that. That's what I'm saying about it.
Excellent.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent.
Thank
So let's
you.
go back to when I was talking about mother and father. Something my mother and father didn't have to give me, right? And some things they didn't want me to know. Now I'm a father. I have children, right? And I review from before slavery, right? I do sociology. I do my own studying. I went to a few colleges. That's neither here nor there. But in my self-research, studying my ancestors, where I come from, there's a lot of information that was withheld, right? And whatever reason they didn't give it to us, I had to go see it for what it is, plug into it, and then unplug from it. Like some people say we got family curses or whatever thing, but I had to see what's in this DNA, right? So I can release some shit, right? So I can elevate to the next level. But because it's that some things that your DNA plugged into, right? That you have to go see what it do, and you say, "Ooh, this is negative." And let me give an example. Alcoholism runs in my family. Addiction runs in my family.
Likewise.
Right? And so some people can drink moderately. I couldn't. I smoke. When I drink, I'm finna go all in, right? I'm finna have a couple packs of cigarettes to go with that, right? And people think they're working me, but you're not. You know, just my pockets is pretty good, right? And I want to drink, and I don't want to drink by myself, right? And so the energy vampires come with plugging into alcohol and tobacco or being around certain people, right? Which is a drain for me, right? But then groups of people come and you get drained, and like another energy inside yourself. This is different. It's like an operator, old school, when they just had the whole switchboard. You can plug into many different things. You can unplug from different things. So it's a plug that came to Earth with, right? Saying, hey, your destiny is to do this, right? And then plugging into alcohol and addictions and trying to get some pussy and trying to have a reputation, the different things kept my spirit man, kept my soul, kept my destiny at a standstill. You know what I'm saying? And the destiny had a lot of energy. People would come around. I'm thinking I'm getting tipsy with these people or drunk with these people, but it was like, if like some people purposely like, ooh, we keep this cat at a standstill. You know what I mean? We take the energy and go do something different. And the reason I'm saying that, look at Africa, right? We all charged up. We didn't see it like neither positive or negative. We just natural, doing things just naturally, right? Which was an overall positive within an environmental impact.
Okay.
Here, somebody come, put us on slave ship, disperse us around the world, right? And we build stuff, right? And then here we are in 2019 trying to unplug from all that horrific, toxic energy that we learn in school about where we come from, who we are, what we're supposed to be doing, as they indoctrinate us. And this is where you get to kick in at about the positive part, right? in reevaluating all that energy, devices, right? That come along with it, right? Allows us to segregate or to take sex or to take drugs or to sabotage or do gang violence amongst each other. You know, what about black on black crime? You know, not cleaning up our own communities, whatever. And then coming to the point that we need a holistic plug-in. And what the fuck is a holistic plug-in? And you really don't understand the magnitude of a holistic plug-in until you unplug from devices.
You don't understand the magnitude of a holistic, what do you call it?
Plug-in?
Plug-in until you attempt to do some work yourself. Right? That's the only time you understand the magnitude. That's the only time that you understand the magnitude of a plug-in of that nature, because otherwise you're just like everybody else, just, you know what I'm saying, plugging into your vices. Like you said, whatever, right? Whatever those are. Whatever. Your vice could be overeating chocolate.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Your vice could be overexercise. Whatever, right? Whatever, not to say that that's going to make you, whatever. Okay, I'm stuck. I don't know what I'm talking about in terms of the magnet. I don't know what we're talking about.
We're talking about, sometimes the plug can be, the magnitude of it can be overwhelming. Sometimes it can cause you not to see your destiny, and like you were talking about food, right?
Right. And
to indulge, right? To indulge in certain foods while you're trying to find out the road to your holistic self, so you can unplug from devices. And you was using food as an example.
I mean, it could be, you know, for an example, in my younger years, my plug was the club.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So my plug is the club at a younger age, right? And I'm in an environment where everybody, that, you know, that's what it is, right? So when you go to the club, you have young men, older men, middle-aged men. They're looking for women, right? And all the accoutrements that go with that.
Right.
There's alcohol involved. You know what I'm saying? There's women looking for a particular something. So that's a you know, that's a different type of energy. That's a vice. I don't know where we're supposed to be going with the plug joke. I really don't.
And
I don't know where we're going with the plug, because we talking about our mother. Are we talking?
No, I was talking about as far as unplugging, right? When I was speaking about my mother and father. Yeah, when I was speaking about my mother and father, I was speaking about that what they gave me, right, was not enough for me to be holistic, right? And to come anew. Because they didn't know how to unplug from the stuff that their parents gave them, that their parents inherited. And that's why I went all the way back to slavery, that trip gave us some contamination. It gave us some unhealthy things that we had to use as mechanisms, right?
Okay, let me... Can you put this on pause? You don't have to, or we could just talk through it. Because I have a question. So, are we talking about the plug in terms of just what that is, or are we talking about the conversation that we had earlier?
Well,
are you tying it all together?
I'm tying it all together. It's like a duality. So when we do this series, people will say, okay, the plug is kind of complicated, and it's not no simple way to digest it, right? Because it's like a octopus. It has many tentacles. But there is definitely, you have to unplug, right? To get your holistic self.
Okay, so example. That's okay.
So let me say this, okay. So I had to unplug from my community, right? And my family, right? And from what school taught me and what church taught me, right? And I had to go into isolation, right? Like you were talking about the sabbatical or being celebrate. Doing self-work, doing the work. There's definitely some work has to be done.
There's isolation in that sometimes.
But what I was trying to explain to the people is, like the other sister said, her name was Art Cathy. She said, sometimes you gotta say fuck family. You know, not like that, but like that, so you can identify what your destiny is and what you're good at, and because your family's supposed to always be there. But when you take that moment to discover yourself, family, friends, associates, and all that shit, want you to eat the pork. They want you to go to the club. They want you to hit the cigarette. They want you, everything that you try to unplug from, it comes at you that much harder. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
So then we're talking. Okay. So we're talking about the holistic self, right, and unplugging. Absolutely, in terms of your journey of unplugging, right, and healing oneself, it's going to be isolated. It can be lonely, right? Absolutely, it's going to be, because that's part of the work, because you're unplugging and you're distancing yourself from all that was, right? So you could do something either in the now, which is heal, so you can get to a greater destination, right? Is that the point that you're trying to make? You have to unplug and distance yourself in order to get to your holistic self, because right now you...
Exactly, because just like my conversation at the beginning, and parts of you.
We were talking about the incubator.
Right, but parts of you, right? At the beginning, the whole topic, it was kind of like scattered. He's like, I don't know where we at, right? But that's how it is when you come into this world and you get plugged into so many different conveyor belts, so many different machines, and then you unplug and you work on your holistic self. You do the work, right? Then you get a moment of clarity, right? You define who you are, what you're doing, where you want to go, right? Now you got to come up with an approach to get there. Now you have to understand who you're going to let in your circle, who you're going to open your gate to let into your pasture.
Right, because there you'll be like a after being incubated.
Yeah,
because that's what it is. You're going to be incubated when you unplug. You have to be, right, because you're coming anew, right? You have to. You can't draw from the energy of the old, right? That's your contaminant, if you will. That is your contaminant. So I understand your vein in terms of holistic self, right, and trying to identify, right, and then heal, and then come anew, right. I understand that part, but I'm gonna say this first. I would, in unplugging,
okay,
right?
Okay,
It's cool. I understand you have to say fuck family, but you have to use family too to understand self, right? And the part of what you want to say fuck you too, right? Because not even so much fuck family, it's more like fuck this part of me that I'm not digging no more, that I gotta go ahead
right.
You know what I'm saying? That I gotta go ahead and change. Let me identify that, because it goes back. It's absolutely generational, right? He says it's in your RNA and your DNA, right? It's in your history. It's in your cells. It's in, you know what I'm saying? So we don't say fuck family real quick.
Right.
Hold on to them to understand them, so you understand yourself.
We love family. We are family.
Right.
Hold your thought. But the point I'm saying fuck family is that it's somebody in the family that doesn't want to unplug, right? And you become weird, or you become difficult, or you become different, like. I don't eat meat no more, right? It's that one family member, right?
Who don't understand why you don't eat meat no more.
I'll go offer you some pork. I'll go offer you some chicken or some turkey, right?
Okay.
And they gonna go out their way. Okay. Well, you ain't got nothing else to eat up in here. They go, but I don't want no bacon on my utensils. Okay. But that's family though. Yeah. You still love them, but you gotta say fuck.
Yeah. Come prepared. Know what you're dealing with.
Right. See,
the plug is really about knowing what you're dealing with.
Because I love my family. I love my family. Don't get me wrong, right?
Right.
But on one level, I gotta say fuck all that shit about that, and go ahead and unplug and plug in to what I need to, right? And because as I role model it, right, that's when the love for family, for me, unplugging from that part of it, right, that I can't participate with, it allows somebody else to grow their locks. Right, and so I got people in my family that at the beginning, I'm gonna use my locks for right. Okay. So I unplugged from the
waves.
Right, I used to use Murray's and NJ, but people used to use Jerry curls. I never did that stuff, but I unplugged in trying to look handsome or cute or being fine, right? I was confident enough that going through the ugly different stages of having my locks, and I did it at a time when nobody understanding in my family. You're not gonna get a job. You know it looks like a piece of shit on your head.
I remember that.
All the stuff. Now I got family members, right, on both sides growing their locks or wearing afros. You know, they're not putting perms and chemical. I got family members today who were talking about eating healthy. I just eat a little chicken. I eat a little turkey, but I don't do red meat. I don't do pork unless it's a holiday, right? But that comes from unplugging from all that shit, right?
Right.
I miss some Christmases. I miss some Thanksgiving. Now I can go because I know me.
But see, this is what you have to.
And that's the plug in. I plugged in with the universe. I plugged in with myself.
We have to understand too, right? We can hold them accountable, right? We can hold them accountable for what they did not know, right?
You can?
We can hold them accountable
Okay.
for what they didn't, but not anymore. So that's why you're seeing maybe a transformation. Because to hold them accountable for what they did not know, ouch.
Right. So
Ouch.
I don't hold them accountable.
For they did not know.
I don't hold them accountable, but I identify. I identify what they did not know, right?
But see,
And I identify that in being plugged in the way we're plugged in, it's comfortable to not unplug and to plug into something better. Like right now, I'm trying to learn how to speak Swahili. I'm trying to learn how to speak Oromo. I'm trying to learn how to speak Tigrinya. I'm trying to learn how to speak Amharic. I got a dude that's qualified to teach me all that. I got people saying I speak English, right? And that's all I know. And speak English to me. I don't want to learn that Kuma. And I'm like, God damn, 400 years, they unplug you from your language, and you got a chance to plug in 2019. Knowledge is at your fingertip. Any fucking thing you want to know.
That's what I'm saying. So we're not able to hold them accountable for what they did not know. But now in the information age, you do not have an opportunity to say that you do not know. It is impossible to not know. Right? So then once you recognize that they're just stymied or then we go on them.
Well, I got a problem. And this video is for everybody, but the people who are conscious are the people who have unplugged to plug into a holistic lifestyle. I know the majority of you guys will get it. But I have a problem at the age of 51. I look damn good to be 51 too.
You do.
So I have a problem with people who have an opportunity to know, right, and know they need to know, but refuses to know. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that it'd be beneficial to their kids, it'd be beneficial to this thing that motherfuckers always talking about. We need to unite. We can't unite. They ain't gonna let us do that, or we should do this.
It takes work.
And if you don't trying to unplug from the shit so you can plug in to the unity, right? You ain't gonna ever achieve it.
It takes work. It takes work.
It takes work.
Everything takes work. You see what I'm saying? Oh, sorry. It doesn't.
No, it absolutely do. It absolutely do. Absolutely.
Everything. Yeah, everything takes work.
I'm gonna give an example. We've been traveling in the time continuum for what, 20 years?
20 years.
Right? Mm-hmm. And it's a beautiful journey. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful journey. When we met, we had a holy instant, right? And the holy instant only lasted quick, right? And then back to our normal self, right? So whatever I saw in her, whatever she saw in me, it was good enough for the inertia to push us forward, right?
Right.
But as we walk forward, did we trip over different shits, people, places, and things, right? Ideologies, and I want, I feels, I need.
I believe.
As fine as she is, as good as she looked to me, right? I had a fucked up view of how this. I'm gonna give it to you in the street. How this shit go, how the gang go. I had an uncle that was a pimp, another uncle that was a playboy, another uncle that was an international lover, another uncle that just had his wife and his kid. My daddy was a cold hustler, right? So in my persona, I came from a neighborhood called Country Club Crest, which was my box, and I was somebody in that box, you know. And so I didn't have to think about the world picture. But I met her right when I was trying to think about the world picture. So I was caught, like, use Tupac for example, right? Do I want to be a liberation activist, or do I want to be just a regular street nigga, or do I want to go plug in and go get a job, go to work, right? But I seen the girl with the fat ass, right? She was cool, right? She was cool. She was balanced, right? You know what I'm saying? And I liked her and I digged her, right? But you know, that wouldn't have been a player. That was not
things to do.
But I'm just saying how we groom each other, right? Right, under the player code and all this other stuff. And so I realized, who the fuck is I'm trying to, you know, who I'm trying to imitate? What am I trying to imitate? Because we had black exploitation movies, we had the Mac, and these are classic stuff. We had Scarface, we had Color, and this shit was fed to us, right? And we try to make some unhealthy shit healthy. And so when I finally unplugged, right, the young universe brought me back to the sister, right? And I was being celibate. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't trying to be celibate. I just didn't want to share no energy with somebody that was not trying to be holistic.
Right. Me too.
And did we know that about each other?
Not at all. We're walking in rhythm. We were walking side by side without actually knowing we were walking side by side.
And so it was amazing when you plug into a holistic lifestyle and the time continuum, the pendulum swings, right? And it everything's in time, on time, all the time with AMON-RA. I mean, I choose to say AMON-RA. Inside my outlook, some people say Allah, some people say Jehovah. I have no problem with your orientation is on relationship, but I know in the spiral, in the spiral, when you plug in and try to do better, that which you need to help you, or which that needs to walk with you, it will show up and manifest.
Absolutely.
If you recognize it.
Absolutely.
But it will show up, but you have to recognize it. And then once you recognize it, what you gonna do with it? You have to have a plan.
Time to do the work.
Is hope a plan?
Hope is not a plan.
Is wish a plan?
Wish has never been a plan.
I believe, is that a plan?
No.
So a plan has to be thought out. It has to be viewed from every angle. It has to know what worked, what hasn't worked, right? And some plans take a risk. And then some plans you can download that already been done. You know, so.
Nothing new under the sun.
So I plugged into the system, and
Thank you.
we're gonna make a show.
We're gonna work on this.
We don't know what we're gonna call it. This is some raw footage. So whoever get this, it's gonna be
The plug.